kind of there. We'll go with that lighting. Hello, my name is Sarah of Sarah and Squirrel, and welcome to my kitchen. It is nearly 5 o'clock. It is 20 past 5 in the evening. The sun is going down, it's overcast and rainy, and my kitchen smells like wet dog because we just got back from a river walk. So basically the reason I am doing this video now is because I don't know when the next time I'm going to have an opportunity to. You may also notice behind me is a left crafty family kind of morning. As yet I have not been able to clear that up. I thought perhaps I would prioritise lighting and getting it done, and the rest of you wouldn't mind because you're mums too, and we all know what it's like on that dinner table. There's pasta on the stove, can we just deal? Great. So, what do I want to talk to you today about? Well, as we are doing a countdown of vlogging, it might not be every day, but we're trying to get some in. I thought that maybe we could aim for some Disneyland tips. Now these are realistic, employable, actual mum tips and dad tips and parent and guardian tips that we hope will be useful to you. I had a bit of a brainstorm, and these are things which I think is worth dwelling on if you're planning a trip. If you are watching this, you kind of, I guess, are. So yes, let's swing on in. First of all, shoes. Wondrous topic. Fun for all the family, much like the park, except you will be walking a lot. Wear something comfortable for crying out loud. If you're going to try and fit in the whole trip within a few days or even just one day, you're going to anticipate doing a fair amount of dashing, and even if you're not and you're taking your time, you're still covering a lot of space, quite a lot. So for you and the kiddos and husband and anyone else you might be taking, please, oh, that wet dog just shook my house. So we're looking at trainers or nice pumps or something like that. Please don't be tempted to wear flip-flops because ow, and no, just don't do it. In fact, I saw a tip on another video recently, people saying they would literally put plasters around their heels anyway because you do so much walking, there's a chance you're going to end up with achy feet. So that's worth thinking about. And if your child wants to wear the Cinderella or whatever princess shoes with their costume that they're wearing around the park, I beg of you, find a different alternative in a trainer. Some sparkly trainers or something like that, they're really cool. There's loads of them around. Go for that. If she wants to wear them while they're having pictures or meeting their princess, that's the way to go. But please try and convince them to wear sensible shoes to the park, because otherwise you're going to have one sad kiddo on your hands. In relation to the shoe thing, buggies. Don't consider your 5 or 6 year old to be too old for a buggy. Even if they've not used buggies for a really long time, it's worth considering borrowing one or pulling your own one back out from under the stairs or wherever you stashed it, or borrowing one from the park. Have it as an option, because really they are up and going all the time. So because we had taken Squirrel when he was 3, when he is 4, he's now 5, and I'm still using a buggy because we're just around all the time. It's just too much. And I know people that take their buggy for even children of 6, 7, and they need it. I mean, the other option of course is, like I said, you can hire them in there. I think there's a charge unless you are a pass holder, and then I think 1 or 2 of the pass holding benefits is that, yeah, well, to one of the passes I should say, 1 or 2 of the passes, there's a benefit to hiring the wheelchairs and the buggies. There's a little zone near the front of the park where you can get them, and like I say, I think it is part of that benefit, but otherwise it's still available to you. Really have it as an option, even if you just go for the first half day and have it in your hotel or something. Most airlines you can stash them for free anyway, and so you might as well bring it along, and if you find you need it, then it's there, or if you don't, then you know, but the last thing you want is an exhausted, screaming, tired child. It's just worth some consideration. ID bands and tattoos. The park is huge, there's monitoring, but these things happen. It's one of the happiest places on the planet, but these things happen, and it's really worth taking care of no matter. I mean, the customer services there are amazing. There's wonderful spots, and the cast members always look out for their children, but like I say, the last thing you want is your child to panic and not feel like they can't approach anyone, or whatever might happen if they get lost and separated, particularly when it's particularly crowded. Then you just need the reassurance of having an ID band. You can get them really cheap on eBay and Amazon in packs of like 10, and you just jot it on there with a pen, put it around their arms. You can get the custom washable tattoos as well, which I've seen you on. It's just so much, it's just for your own peace of mind, it's worth it. And when Leo wears them, put the details on there. We make sure that they know how to identify us in case he's panicked and doesn't want to speak for any reason, because he can be shy sometimes, even though he's communicative in general. I'm not going to take that risk. This is my name, this is my number, Mummy has pink hair. You're going to find me eventually, hopefully, because I will also be the one running around screaming, flailing and sobbing because my baby is apart from me. Do the thing. The waiting times app isn't just for rides, although it's very useful. So if you're looking at being in queues for any length of time, it's worth kind of judging. You don't have to plan your day. I know people get worried and hung up about the idea of planning a holiday at Disney. You don't have to do that. But what you can do is be mindful and informed. So if you check the timings of some of the stuff going on, that's really worthwhile. And I think it's really ideal to look at, oh no, the red thing's flashing and it's really distracting me. I think it's worthwhile anticipating when you can place things like meals and dinners, etc. And if you look at the waiting times app, they've even got, you can identify on the map where the toilets and changing rooms are. That way you're familiar with things. If there's a whoops, you gotta run straight there, or at least where you can pace out before and after waiting for rides, getting on rides, whatever it is you need. There is also, in relation to that, you can need to know that the first aid section, which is also where lost children are taken, is near the front of the Disneyland park. I don't know where it is in the studios. I've had a look in there before because we nipped in when I was unwell in the first visit 2 years ago. It's really sweet, it's full of toys, they're the sweetest people there, but just familiarise yourself. That's where first aid is. That's where you can get help with all kinds of childcare things as well. Snacks. Oh my gosh, like, okay, if you want Mickey shaped snacks, totally get it. I am right there with you. We're gonna go with this. Absolutely. Ice cream, waffles, whatever it is, we want some. However, these pack some Aldi pre-wrapped bread things and a little bit of whatever else you can find. There's loads of actual Disney like themed stuff. Make up little snack packs to just jam right in your bag, because otherwise you're going to be spending a fortune. Really worthwhile. Also bring water bottles, because there are fountains around the place and you can hand them over at any of the kiosks and say, can you fill this up please, and they'll do it for free. And it just saves you from spending out on cartons of juice and fizzy drinks or whatever it is that your family consumes, because we do that as well as adults. We take our own bottles and we fill them up whenever we got an opportunity. Saves so much money. We do, however, of course, get a couple of snacks in a day for the sake of Disneyland. I'm going to bring this back round to waiting in queues next to the shoes, the buggy, the everything else. Don't be a hero. Don't do it. If you're going to be waiting in lines and things, don't be that mum that says, I'm not bringing a tablet to Disneyland. Please bring something for your kids to play with in the queues. It doesn't matter whether you're in somewhere with the most beautiful, magical detail and sunshine and music and lovely. If they have to stand in it and stare at the same stuff for any more than 5 minutes, they're going to get bored. And this is going to happen. A lot of the Disneyland show is taken up with waiting. Please make a little backpack with sticker books, I take a tablet. I take his tablet. He uses it in the airplane, he uses it in waiting in queues, he uses it any opportunity we need to, because at least there we know that it's full of games that he can switch and swatch between if he gets bored of one or the other. It's all compact in one little tablet, which I just charge at the beginning of the day, and he knows he's doing it only when he's waiting and no other time. He doesn't want to use it at any other time. We're in Disneyland. He's not going to be more taken up with the tablet than he is of anything else. But I've got to cut him some slack if we're going to be waiting for a long period of time, and otherwise he's climbing us and he's whinging and he's being silly. Like I said, you don't get any points for doing life harder than it needs to be. Bring a tablet, sticker books, whatever it is. Something to fiddle with and keep them busy when they have to wait in line, or they're just going to get fed up and they're going to be exhausted by the time they get to see the princess or go on the ride or whatever else. Costumes. Costumes, if you can. Yeah, I appreciate that it is part of the experience if you're doing the princess experience or something like that, or if your children want to go as a character to meet their characters in. You can, if they do sell dresses, hundreds of different ones there, there's loads, there's so many costumes, but they are expensive, and you can get them in, you know, of reasonable quality online or in even superstores, supermarkets for pretty good, you know. And they will not feel hard done by being presented it and unwrapping it before they leave or when they get to their hotel or something like that. It can still be part of the experience rather than selling out 69 odd euros for another dress when you get there. You might as well get one for 10 to 15 pounds here or however much it costs and enjoy that. And you know, it just saves you a few pounds, and that's money that you can put into a dining experience to see more characters or something like that. It really doesn't make a huge difference unless that you're way inclined, then go with it, of course. But there are other options, and please don't think that they are competitively priced at all in terms of what you could get over here. The markup and everything is just phenomenal and scary. Kid shopping budget. So if you're going and you've saved up money so they can buy stuff in the shops, that's fair enough. This may not apply to you. However, when we go, everything is on a budget. We have to book the whole thing on a budget. We have had to really apply everything we do with a budget in terms of eating and any other spending we do. So we don't really collect anything. What we do as a family is we each pick one Christmas decoration from the Christmas shop, because we are also Christmas people, we love it. And Dad and I will sometimes pick something like a mug each, and then Leo has his choices too. Of course we allow a little bit more for him to spend because, hello, the amount there, but we do not give him an enormous amount. So what we do as this kind of trick, and he's totally on board with this, is we give him a budget, and as we're going around the shops, if he says, "Mummy, I love it, can I have it?" we always say, "I'm going to take a picture of it." On the phone it goes. We'll remember this, and whatever you pick you can have on the last day, because you might see something else you want and you'll regret it if you want that one more, because we might not be able to take the other one back if you've already played with it. Yes, got it, boom, done. And he's always been great, and sometimes we have a collection of however many pictures on the phone, and that really doesn't matter because at least he's enjoying shopping and he still has the time to think it over. So that morning, on the last morning, we look at all the pictures and we go back and pick whatever he gets. He will go and get whatever he picks from whatever the shop is, and he loves that opportunity. He looks forward to doing that part of the day and going home with it in his arms, right onto the plane if it's something small, or into luggage if it's not. And it's always gone down well, and it's a good way to budget too. That way you're not piling up it all on top of you, and he enjoys it and it makes sense for us. So in case you've ever been concerned about that, here, do the photo on the camera. A lot of it is also, we have found with Squirrel anyway, it's the immediate gratification of the almost yes. So I think if you say yes, almost yes, on the phone, let's think about it for the last day, because then you get to think about other things you might want, and it's like shopping extra, and then it's fine. Honestly, it doesn't dampen anything. We've never had any issues, and we've got a kid who really likes shopping. At least when he knows at Disneyland, that's the plan, that's the way he goes, and it's always gone down well. Place camping. This is a kind of a debatable issue, and I know that there are some parents who are swing one way or the other, but this is my perspective on it. Please don't flame me. This is what I'm going to put forward. There are many families, and also people without children, who go to the parade spots, that go to illumination spots, that get to the front of the queue for things like these shows really early. So the reason they do this is because they want to be up close. They're committed, they really want to go up close. Again, if this is me, I will arrive for the parade at least an hour in advance, because I want to be right there having the interactions with my child, with the characters, and we love it. So we commit to being there usually an hour to over an hour early, and Squirrel's fine with this, you know. We have some drinks, that's when we might go and get something like a Casey's hot dog at lunch. We sit right there on the floor playing together on his tablet or a sticker book, and then the music starts and we are ready. A lot of people have experienced, and I mean a lot of people in the Disney community have experienced, other families placing their children in front of them. Valid. Fine, children you can see over, that's okay. But then they will elbow in front of you too on the basis of, I need to be near to my child. That's not fair. They've intentionally been there that whole time. If you've been wrapped up having a meal or a ride or something like that, and it's sad for the child, that's fine. Sit nearby, tell the kid, I am right here, I am right next to this mummy, while you're at the front with this child, or in front of wherever they need to be. Negotiate it with the person. Just talk it out. Say, hey, how do you feel about this? Hopefully someone will be honest with you. but if it is a genuine mistake. But I beg of you, please don't expect people to move over for you and your children. Your children, probably, but for you as well, it's kind of hard when they've committed themselves to being right there at the front for that length of time. It's not fair, really. They don't want to ruin the experience for your child. It might be the only opportunity that that child gets to see the parade or the show. But try to be mindful yourself in getting there early enough to guarantee your space too. If they can do it, then your family can, and if there's an issue, like your child has difficulty waiting in line or waiting like that, then there are other passes available. There's priority passes, for instance, for children with limited attention or autism or anything like that. There's actually designated areas where you can go slightly later and you don't have to worry because there'll be a space there for you and your family so that your child doesn't have to deal with those circumstances. Perfect. That's what those passes are for, along with other things like going through queues. Well, I have a green pass because I'm disabled, so it's great for me as well, but I tend to go to a different area and camp it through. I'd rather keep that area if I can, if I'm well enough at the time, because I have been employing it by using it for the other elements of things like standing. If there's somewhere I can sit for a period of time, that's what I'm going to do. If you can do that, brilliant. Otherwise, please be mindful of the other people who have clearly been waiting a really long time. This goes for illuminations too. There are people who have waited up to 3 hours for a good spot for illuminations. Try really hard not to get to the front and expect to be able for people to part for you when they've been there all this time. We know it's special for the kids, we know it's magical, but try to plan it instead. I hope I've not offended anyone, but I feel as mum as well, it's my kind of position where I can deliver the other option to you and let you know that it has worked for me, and hopefully it can work for you too, and then it's all peaceful and everyone's having a great day. Okay, and the last thing I want to talk to you about is quite a simple thing, but it can make the difference to some people, and it's going to be really important for some meet and greets, and it's great around. If you have a bashful child, a child who is perhaps a little bit shy about meeting people even if they're desperate to go see their favourite characters, and this goes for adults too actually, if you're not sure if banter's really your thing with the characters, or you're worried about what people are going to think, which by the way is completely unnecessary, everyone's looking forward to seeing those characters, it doesn't matter how old you are, try and equip yourself, because if you're not sure how to break an ice, and most characters are great at it, if you bring something for them to talk about, then brilliant. So, for instance, Mickey and Minnie love it when you wear ears. All characters love it if you wear part of their character or part of their movie, for instance, or their franchise. And if you give a gift, holy moly, it means the world to them. I'm not saying go out and buy something expensive. For instance, last year Leo made these cute little glitter cards using Disney different character stencils, and he made a castle one as well using lots of glitter over the top, and inside all he did was write, "Thank you for making my holiday special, love from Leo" inside. The character responses were amazing. When he went to see Belle, he brought a little Mrs. Potts Tsum Tsum as well, and I think he did the same for quite a few. He just went around with like a backpack full of Tsum Tsums, which I know quite a few people do, and it's great because then the characters have something to talk about and help you initiate a little bit back, or if you just don't feel like you can manage to speak, or the child is just too shy to try and answer questions, they really can skip straight on and they talk about the character, or they pretend to talk to the character, or whatever, you know. So it's whatever you have brought, if it's something for them, it's something for them to work with if you're not feeling like you can respond for whatever reason. Including child, obviously. They're very used to it, that's fine, but you can equip yourself and still have an amazing meet. And some of them, they're wonderful. They're probably one of my favourite parts of actually doing it, is seeing my child meeting characters, and I love it too, even though I don't really get much of a look in because Kiddo loves them. If Kiddo's got a hat, a lot of characters try and take it off and put it on them, and things like that. Just sometimes allowing something to give, even if it's not your words, creates a fantastic meet, and it can go really well and still be a magical experience for a bashful child or a non-verbal child, and really, honestly, they're great. Anyway, that's what I got for you today. I hope this has been useful. 10 tips of the real things that happen with parents at Disneyland. I'm gonna go serve out the pasta, which is now stuck to the bottom of the pan, and I can hear my child throwing something of a patty about a bath. I better go rescue Daddy. Okay, have fun at Disneyland.